What if you could build a multi-million-dollar brand in just 1 month? And what if you could do it in a market you knew absolutely nothing about? It sounds, impossible, right? But it happened. And we're going to break down the exact AI-powered playbook that found an untapped product and just took off like a rocket.
So first, let's just look at this number. $2.7 million in revenue. This isn't some hypothetical case study. This is the real, actual result of the strategy we're about to walk through.
And here's where it gets kind of mind-blowing. This wasn't something that took years of grinding and building. All of this, the entire 2.7 million, was generated in just 30 days. 1 month.
So, the big question is how? How on earth is that even possible? Well, I can tell you it wasn't luck. It was a system, a repeatable system, and we're going to unpack it piece by piece.
Okay, so everything starts with the opportunity. You gotta find the right one. And I don't mean just any product. I mean a product that has this hidden, explosive potential that the rest of the market just hasn't seen yet.
The very first step is super simple, but it's absolutely crucial. You have to get into a market that's already growing. You don't want to swim upstream. And as you can see right here from the Google Trends data, interest in Pilates was just climbing and climbing. And on top of that, financial projections showed an 11.5% compound annual growth rate. So the market itself was a rising tide.
Now, this is where AI comes in to find the specific product. The strategy was, honestly, brilliant. Find these day-in-the-life vlogs from micro-influencers in the Pilates world, copy the entire video transcript, and just dump it into an AI like ChatGPT with a really simple prompt. List all early adopter products mentioned. And popping out of that process was one thing: Pilates Grip Socks, a product that was just starting to bubble up.
But, finding the product, that's really only half the battle. To really blow up, you need to build an identity that people actually connect with. And the secret to doing it, well, it's all about understanding your customer on a really deep level.
So by digging back into those same YouTube transcripts, this really fascinating pattern started to emerge in how people were talking about the product. They weren't asking for a specific brand. They were just saying they needed those grip socks. And that right there revealed a golden opportunity. The market was product aware. People knew they wanted grip socks, but they were not yet brand aware. This is the absolute sweet spot. It's the perfect time to enter a market because the demand is already there, it's been proven, but no single brand owns the space yet.
The next piece of the puzzle was figuring out, okay, who is this customer? So by looking at the profiles and the video titles of these micro-influencers, a super clear identity came into focus, the that girl aesthetic. And this wasn't just a demographic, right? This was a whole cultural movement, an entire identity just waiting to be tapped into.
So, how do you build a brand for that girl without starting from scratch? Well, you use a really clever strategy called brand emulation. By asking the AI what brands best fulfill the that girl identity, the #1 answer was the beauty brand Glossier. So by studying a non-competitor like Glossier, they could borrow the essence of its visual style, that dreamy pastel look, to create an instant, authentic connection with their customer. It's genius.
Okay, so the product is identified, the brand identity is set. Now we get to the execution, where it all comes to life. And the key here was focusing on premium quality from day one.
To match that premium brand, the product itself had to feel high quality. So this meant avoiding typical drop shipping. Instead, they took a really systematic approach on Alibaba. Create a detailed manufacturing document, search by supplier, not by product, filter for the verified pros, and then message dozens of them, like 20 to 50, to create some serious negotiating leverage.
And for maximum efficiency, a single professional photo shoot basically solved every branding problem they had. They captured 4 essential types of content all at once: lifestyle shots for the website, detailed product photos, specific images and clips designed just for ads, and some organic style videos. Boom! A consistent premium look across every single channel right from the jump.
All right, the brand is ready, the product is ready. Now it was time to get attention. And I mean millions of views worth of attention. This is where we crack the viral code. And it turns out going viral isn't just about getting lucky. There's actually a science to it.
So, the secret is a technique called the 1 to 3 second transition. This is the core principle. The idea is within the first 3 seconds of your video, you have to have a re-engagement point, something that reveals the video's X factor and makes people stop scrolling and actually commit to watching.
So here's a classic example you've definitely seen in e-commerce. It's a video where the beat of the music drops right around the 3-second mark, and at that exact moment,
Bam! The core function of the product is shown. That's the X-Factor reveal. It's a super powerful and totally repeatable pattern.
But hey, this pattern isn't just for products. Think about a video where someone gets asked a question on the street, and at that 3-second mark, they reply in a completely unexpected language. That's the hook. That's the surprise, the X factor that grabs your brain and makes you think, okay, I have to see what happens next.
So what was the result of all this viral traffic? I mean, millions of views is great, but what does it actually do? Well, it created this massive warm audience. Then a simple retargeting ad campaign was run to that audience, and it resulted in a staggering, and I mean for e-commerce this is just staggering, a 7.19% conversion rate. It was so high because the ads were only being shown to people who were already interested.
Okay, so we've covered finding the product, building the brand, and going viral. But all of these tactics, they're all connected by a single powerful business theory that some of the top entrepreneurs in the world basically live by.
This whole thing, from the AI research on YouTube all the way to the branding, it's all based on one powerful idea about how new things actually spread through society.
And this is it. It's called the diffusion of innovations. This theory basically shows how new ideas and products get adopted by a market in stages, moving through these 5 different groups of people. And the key to this entire playbook lies with one of these groups in particular.
This is it. This is the core insight of the whole thing. Real opportunity in business is found by listening to the early adopters. They are the influencers, the tastemakers. They validate a product before it becomes mainstream. The Pilates instructors and the pink Pilates princesses talking about grippy socks, they were revealing a huge supply and demand gap just out in the open for anyone who was willing to listen.
This framework is universal. It works for tech, for fashion, for hobbies, for anything really. So it leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Who are the early adopters in your world, and what massive opportunities are they revealing right now?